Greetings and hello. Yeah. It's been a while since I made a video. Yeah, I have no camera. It still looks like... Oh, better. Still looks like I'm living in a dumpster, yeah, but that won't change for a while. Or even gets worse. But yeah. I just think I need a moment to talk. Why? I feel like it and it's Sunday. All I hear all over the place right now is how much the nerd culture is winning the battle. And like, everybody is like, the bad people at Disney. Hollywood gets it really deep. We are winning now. We are getting to them. They will now change. No, they don't. And this weird way of thinking of that there is something to win. You can't win death. You can't win a situation that's over. People always tend to see things in this weird way that, even though everything is burnt down, everything is destroyed, the perception of certain things, the legacy of certain things, of individuals, series, productions, everything is in shambles. But hey, they will stop now. So, that's not a win. That's just the end of the war. It's a 40k scenario. It's like, yeah, the orcs are gone, but the planet is fucked. Like, okay, what did we win here? A fucked up planet. A planet that's bare wasteland that will never grow anything usable, that is stripped of all its value. There is no material to gain here. It's a dead sphere in the cold of space. But still, some will say this is a victory. At least the orcs are gone. Yeah, but what have we lost? Is the losing of things. Just because everybody brings always the same things up. Okay, what have we lost? Star Wars. No matter how they try, no matter how many sparks of light coming out of that dumpster fire of Disney. But what comes from them? But the Mandalorian, the first season was good and the second season kind of worked because there was Luke Skywalker. Yeah, but you see what they do now, because they don't have the budget anymore. They're one trick pony, which is this void, or what was this called? The volume, where they basically have a giant monitor as a stage for filming now, because that's cheaper than anything else. They overuse this completely. Everything looks faker than ever. CG is out of their range. That's why we had this weird Grogu scene last time, where everybody is memeing and joking about. The writing is all of course, a huge pile of garbage. What have we won here? Star Trek. Star Trek is a steaming pile of excrement for now how long? Okay? Every time you think it can't get any worse, they make it worse. And then all of a sudden, hey, look, Picard season 3. It is actually like an original old Star Trek show with all the member bears. Yeah, but you were literally just dangling keys in front of you. Look at the keys. Look at the keys. And what do you have now? You have one season out of 3. One. You have two really shitty, that shit's all over the place. You have even more shit that came before it with Discovery or Lower Decks. Even here in Austria, we now for some reason get this weird cartoon slash 3D animation show that wasn't even supposed to be a Star Trek show, but now is because they put Janeway in it. And apparently that's a good show now. Why? Sloppy leftovers from another show that we refurnished to be a Star Trek show. Look, it's good. Eat it. Like, what is the win here? Oh, but Disney now will sell out, and this is something that people pointed out now. How long now? For 2 or 3 years now? When Disney now says, oh, we will license out all of our properties to other companies so we can get money, but other people do the better work than we do, because we fucked up so badly that we basically rent out everything we own. We don't sell it because it's ours, because the mouse never leaves the cheese alone. You know, because that's the fucking shit pile Disney is nowadays. We will not let go of it, but we leave others to basically do damage control and regain the trust of others. And you know, they will still fuck it up. I mean, there is nothing, and people always say, oh, when this all is over, we can start anew. With what? I'm an Austrian, okay? I'm not in the closest way resembles anything that would be an American nerd. And maybe can work myself up to say, okay, maybe I'm a geek at max. But when I look at all this, all I see is burning buildings and people running around, dancing around the fire and screaming, we have won. To get to the place where nerd culture was at one point, to the nerd culture of the 80s, of the 90s and early 2000s, and how damaged it is now, how will you go back to this? Will everybody agree at one point that we just making a Highlander and, hey, we completely forget everything that happens after the first movie. Forget all the other movies, all the other made for home television stuff, all the video games, all the comic books, shitty as they were, the TV shows, the spin-offs, and all the other stuff. We forget everything. And then start anew. How? It's not like we're talking about one specific point that is damaged. The whole thing is damaged. All I see now at the moment is groups that used to be in the shadows. All the nerds, all the geeks in the corner, everybody does their own thing. Now coming together, as we see in all those, I see it all the time. This is fun and entertaining, yes. And they making fun of, oh man, how much do they fuck us? Oh man, how much do they damage the things we love? We're not creating anything new. We're just pointing out how much those who are in control destroying what we love. Not that, oh hey, we are celebrating that they finally do anything that resembles that what we love and respect it, because this will not happen in the future. They will tone it down. They will basically go the new Coke stuff, where they basically put out a product that's so shitty that they can go back to a different product that's not the original product, but they call it the original product. And since the people hated the previous product so much, they can go away with a cheaper, more easier to produce system. And people will still love it, and people will still buy it. That's how we get Coke today. That's why this stuff is, first of all, gross, and doesn't even taste like Coke. I mean, I can't drink this shit anymore. And I didn't even had the unfortunate event of knowing how new Coke tasted. Okay, that completely swept here over. I don't even know if it ever arrives here in Europe. Okay, but the same thing is here. It's now so bad that anything that's just mediocre will be praised. I just saw some people talk about the D&D movie. Okay, to go over all how D&D is a complete failure now, and everybody searching for new systems to play. But now everybody, oh, they do the good stuff. Wow, they did it good. They could completely overlooking it. That, yeah, okay, it's a good movie, but is it a movie worthy of the title of D&D? We already had multiple versions of D&D in a cartoon show and in home-to-video movies. I think the very first movie was even in cinemas at one point, at least in America. I don't know what's about here. It's a little bit out of my sight at this point. But people starting now to eat shit that 20 years ago they wouldn't even accept in home video entertainment. And I have enough material. I mean, this is shit. This is nothing. It's not even 1% of the stuff that I usually had here in this room. Okay, I had 1,000,001 DVDs of varying variety of shittiness. Okay, and then I mean shit. Okay, I mean shit. Okay, I mean Blubberella shit. Okay, I collect shitty movies. I collect really shitty movies. And everybody says, "Oh, you don't know what good is." Hey, at least I know what bad is. Okay, I come from a completely different direction than you. I know what is shit, and I'm not even German. I know the joke is old, and I'm not taking responsibility for what the Germans do. Okay, as an Austrian, we also make fun of them, and they make fun of us. So. Completely nonsensical, I know. But what in the green fuck do we actually celebrate? Besides, okay, the only thing you can celebrate is, wow, the immense failure that is now upon those who fucked everything up. And even those moments are so oh, the people get fired. So what? They get basically from one door to the next and have another job in another company. They probably don't even leave the building they are in nowadays. They just say, oh, okay, I work at this company, now I work at this company, but I don't even leave the room. Because they can't even afford hiring new people that they don't know how to control, because that's Hollywood. That's Disney. So what will actually change? I mean, for crying out loud, they're making a new season of the Masters of the Universe shite from Kevin Samuels. Everybody hated that shit. No, why do we get a second season of Velma? Oh, because there was always planned a second season, and people are now playing it out like, oh, it was such an outroar that the hate watching was the point. No, it was always planned to be a multi-season thing. The same goes with every other show where everybody is scratching their head and say, why on the blue fuck do we get so many seasons of Bad Women and all the other shows that are basically started out mediocre, mildly good? I have never seen what people see in the Flash and in the Supergirl shows, because I watched a couple of episodes and I was like, sorry, it's maybe not bad, but it's also not very good. And later on, it's supposed to get really bad and really woke, because that's a word that not that to rights. Like, ugh. And it goes nowhere. But what actually is created for the future? There are no shows future generations will hold up. there are no fandoms future generations will hold up. The Star Wars fandom is falling apart because besides those who hang on to the old stuff, they will be at one point be seen as always yesterday people and old, okay, or as oh they were hipster, just like people that collect vinyl to this day. It will become an ousted situation again. You know, we're not celebrating the new beginning. We're just celebrating the seething vegetary state of everything. It's not dead, it's not alive, but it's not dead. It's not alive, but it's not dead. So what's the point? What is the point? In the last 20 years, okay, let's just say from 2000 to now, to 23 years, what has actually been gained? Besides some cartoon shows that maybe someone somewhere will bring up in some obscure nostalgic situation, okay, bring the nostalgia critic back. Oh yeah, there was a show 20 years ago that was actually good, but nobody has watched it. Bitch, everybody has watched it. Everybody forgot about it, this is all. And nobody cares anymore because after 2 seasons they stopped making it and everybody was wondering why. Same situation as always. Because it's more profitable to produce a failure than actually succeed nowadays. And that's what the earliest precursors to that. And now it's literally more profitable to fail and make more failure than actually do something good. Plus, the talents are not longer there. The special effects studios closing down left and right, and most of them are only CG related. There is no prop work really. Those are literally dying out. And in a couple of years, there will be nothing left. It's like the situation with New Frankenstein or Young Frankenstein. Hey, when Mel Brooks had to find old retired people from the from some old home to bring them back to the studio to explain to them how does this work even, because we can't use black and white film anymore because nobody has any idea how those old things work or how to light them. The same thing is here. At one point people were saying, we don't even know how to make special effects without computers. Because everybody can now do on their smartphone more special effects than some people in the 1940s or 1950s or even in the 80s. There are now apps where you can make movie effects on shitty phone apps better than anybody else. And I'm not even kidding. Remember when they showed up Luke Skywalker in the Mandalorian, and everybody was basically memeing on them with their own Apple Face apps and de-aged him better than they did. That's how little they care. There's a little of a fuck and a little of actual work days. Everyone's like, oh, but the indie scene. Yes, but this can't carry all that much. We see it in the gaming community. As soon as someone in the indie scene is even slightly successful, some big company swoops in, either bullies them into submission or buys them off. And the property that was once good is is this really a future that you want? Oh, this little company made one good movie, then Warner Bros. Came in, or Disney came in, or some other studio came in, bought them off and made 15 different sequels that are all shit. What do you want with this? What is the point anymore? I mean, some will say, yeah, but the geeks and the nerds, they will never disappear. Of course they will never disappear. But their actual development to gather and grow is cut off. It's literally a plant that has no roots anymore. There are the old big stamps that are always be there. Everybody will watch the original trilogy. Everybody will watch, okay, original Star Trek shows, okay? Everybody will watch Deep Space Nine, okay? If you care, even Voyager, okay? Everybody will watch the old Doctor Who stuff at one point. Yes, but there is then this cut off where there is nothing else. it's like to build an oasis that's so self-contained that it literally it will die out on incest, basically. Because at one point you need more. You need development. You need people that actually think away from that stuff. You need more islands building around that. And every time I hear this, it's like, oh, but you know, the new Ghostbusters Afterlife, which I personally also, yes, I liked it, but I don't see a future with that. Okay, they will make at least one, maybe a couple of more movies, maybe even a TV show in the future someday, a new one. But will this hold up? Will this continue to grow anything, or will it just be remember this, remember this, remember this? We all know where this is going. Anybody who remembers those really weird times when all comedy was just, hey, remember this, remember that, it just happened yesterday, but remember this still. Like all the scary movies, or Meet the Spartans, or Not Another Teeny Movie. Movies. Or the movie of, the disaster movie. And there's a whole blah of this. And what did it do? It killed comedy. It killed comedy. Okay, besides unfunny comedians, yeah. Because the old comedians just basically retired or just died. And the newer ones are, most of the time at least, some are at least saying a little bit edgy stuff. But most are so, oh no, don't say too much, you offend somebody. Someone may cry over your words. And I'm like, what do you want? What do you actually want with this? Because it's not pushing anything anymore. There is no going somewhere, it's just staying where you are. And until I don't see anybody, okay, going somewhere else and doing something new, I don't see a long-term solution to this. Like I said, there will always be nerds. And we are now seeing like everything is retracting. The nerds and the geeks are retracting back to their gray corners in the shadows, in the basements. Sorry, and going back to where they came from. And still, all they don't give a fuck consumer idiots. They don't even know how to react to that. Some may even follow. Some will be at least intrigued, and maybe you find a little bit of a following there. But most of them are literally just eat shit, go away fans that are literally not holding on. I've seen this in the anime scene, which I'm mostly a corner of here in Europe. There's always this 5-year cycle where, there's a whole bunch of new people, and I'm like, yeah, wait 5 years. Most of them, there's always at least every year, for everyone that comes, at least 2 go. Then there will be every 5 years there will be this really big influx of people, and then there will this decline happen again. It's always this up and down, up and down, up and down, and I see this constantly, okay? And that's not a problem. It's always like, okay, and from everybody that leaves, 99% from 100 people, one stays over a long term, and that one is actually that one that will carry on enough information for the next group, if they even listen, but most don't. It's always is up and down and up and down. But here is this like, more people enter, but the more people enter, the more diluted it gets, and in the end, people don't care. I mean, like I said, I can't speak for all the hardcore movie buffs and stuff, okay? Because they don't talk as much about this in video form, mostly in private. But when it comes, for example, from my personal experience with the anime scene, when you have to explain somebody something that is basic knowledge of the media. Okay, it's like, why do I have to explain every single year? And I did this for a long time. I did this from 2009 gone to 2018, almost constantly in so many corners. I explained it on conventions, I explained it in chats, I explained it in videos. I explained it so very much why certain things are the way they are in anime. Okay, from the hair colors to the style to the voices, why their eyes have the color that they have. This is all a system which was established, which works, which you can clearly understand way more than you just see when you have the, the tunnel vision to something. But people don't want more than the tunnel vision. They don't want to see left and right. It's too much information. They are so hyper focused on one thing. That's why all this discussion starting to have going on all the fucking time. People don't look left, don't look right. Why do they do this? Yeah, because they're referencing something else over there. Because the nerd and geeks in Japan, for example, is still very much driving and basically are an integral part of the production always. Because Miyazaki always said, okay, the problem with the community is that there are too many fans now in the production. Okay, there are too many otakus there. Yes, but it's also the thing that drives them. It's the thing that binds them, okay? It's the thing that holds everything together and drives them to the next situation. Not always in the best, but at least they're moving somewhere. What do we see in the West? More and more contraction. It's contracting more and more into this really intense, hyper-focused ball. And I don't see positives thing. It's always, we have to gatekeep. So yes, to a certain degree you have, but it doesn't mean you have to completely shut everything off. Because to get something new, someone has to produce something new. When you have a too small audience, nobody will produce anything for you. Okay? When there are only 10 people and you need 1,000, for the 10 people you will not make everything. Even though the internet tells you otherwise. Oh, we are the minority. Bow to our means because reverse Spock comment. The means of the many outweighs the means out of the few, Now it's reversed, okay? One asshole is offended, everybody has to bow down. And yeah, this works works online, but there are no consequences mostly for those who literally don't care. But at one point there will, because long term, they don't look at long terms. Nobody does anymore. They only have a gleeful, almost a gallows humor about the whole situation. That's their fun now. That's the jokes that they make. Oh, look, hey, the new Indiana Jones. It will be so shit. We will make so much memes out of it. So yeah. Can we also get something new at one point? Something to replace the old. I mean, not in the way of completely eradicating, like Disney is doing right now, where they try to literally wipe out everything that was good and completely do the, like I said, the new Coke thing. Make everything so shit that everything comes after, even when it's mediocre and not even subpar, looks like shining gold in comparison to the shit that they're making right now. Because that's obviously what's going on here. And now people will praise the mediocre, boring shit that literally 10, 15 years ago would basically be an asylum production. Look at this! This is the next epic, legendary thing with 2 stars and sparkles like a Pokemon card. I mean, maybe I'm overthinking this, I know, but the joys of getting old. It's just I needed to get this off my back. in the long term, I don't see good things coming from it in any way, shape, or form. It will not end the way people think. And this whole, we are winning. So what is there to win? Like I said in the beginning, what is it that we are winning? That the people that fucked everything over stop? I mean, it's like there is nothing left to burn. The fire stopped. We have won against the fire. Yeah, there is nothing left that can burn. There is only ashes. Everything is burnt down. Or to quote more stuff that make people a little bit tingly in their underpants. Everybody's dead, Dave. Everybody's dead. Everybody's dead. Everybody's dead, Dave. You know? To explain it to all those. Everything is dead. Dead and will never come back. Okay? Because they not only burnt the ground, they salted it, put poison waste, they literally Ohio'd everything. Okay? And that was a little dark. That was dark. Ooh. Woo! But yeah, they killed everything, and now everybody is celebrating that they stop. Oh, but Disney makes a new X-Files remake with a more diverse. Like people always are confused and surprised that they are doing this. They will not stop until it's dead. And even when it's dead, they will kick it until it's dust. And even the dust they will sell off as, I don't know, maybe like fake rhino horn powder to somebody who has erection problems. Okay? They will not stop until nothing is to be gained. Even when it looks like a failure, somewhere is someone always gaining something about it. And everybody who loves something will just sit there at one point. And then, at least they are stopping now. Because there is nothing left that they can do. As soon as there is no money to be made on certain things, I mean, people are celebrating, the D&D movie works now. Okay, we'll just get anyone that is now burnt by the D&D community and by the makers of the D&D, all the Wizards of the Coast people will now make money again because, the movie was good. Now we will buy the game again. Why would they? But why? Why? When you do it, you're not a solution. You're part of the problem. And will be called out by everybody that actually has two brain cells to rub against each other. I mean, but apparently that's a win. That's winning in someone's mind. I mean, it comes more across like shell shock for me, you know. And like, I see everything as positive as long as I don't get tortured. Huh? I mean, I know. Hey, and for the 3 people that watch this video, sorry for the rant. I know, it's Sunday, I need it off my chest. I had a really rough time in a couple of last weeks. I just needed to vent to somebody, okay? And I can't do it here in my area because we are not the country that does this normally, okay? That's the problem when you're actually a stranger in your own home. Weird people are still very weird here. They are not movie stars. They are not social media stars. When you're weird, you're weird. Okay? Sorry. Austria isn't that kind of place. On that level, I wish you all a happy Sunday or whenever you watch this video, and my condolences if you made it to the end. On that note, cheers, and maybe sometimes in the future we'll see each other again. Questions, comments, concerns, whatever. Maybe I even comment back or even know what anybody will explain to me in this. But feel free to do what you do. Do the YouTube thing. I don't know what this means. Bye. God, that coffee smelled shit. Ugh.